Thank you, thank you. I'm so excited having a second consecutive panel discussion here. And this discussion, I don't know how many of you were here during the previous one. A lot of issues were being discussed about how the projects are being delivered and the delays. So it's very important now to have a look at our cities. How are our cities growing? How are we having smart and sustainable cities based on the initial plan or vision that we have for our cities? Today I have the honor to have right next to me Dimos Katsis, who is the Vice Mayor of the Municipality of Limassol, and Philippos Kadranis, Head of Public Procurement Director, the Treasury of the Republic of Cyprus. Welcome. I don't know if you want to say a few things about the municipality of Limassol and about the Treasury Department before we begin our discussion.
First of all, I would like to thank you for hosting this. And additionally, I would like to thank the organizers for making this happen. It's the second consecutive year that I'm here personally. And for us, it is very pivotal. Events of this nature, crowd of this nature, people, foreign investors, to feel that such things take place in Limassol. You are super welcome here, and we want for you to understand and embrace where we are and the future and potential of this city, which for us is not just to be the first in Cyprus. We humbly believe that we have already achieved this with all modesty. The plan of this city is, in all modesty again, to reach the level of being one of the best places in the world to live, establish yourself, do business, have safety, have security. And this is the overall plan, and this is where we have to go. And I'm saying this because we have the honor and privilege to serve a city with thousands of years of heritage, thousands of years of history, very strategically located. And we do believe that the future is on the people, that they will embrace the city, love the city, and believe in it. We are super optimistic. I may sound like that, but this is Limassol, guys. It's born to be first. It's born to be the best.
Thank you, Dimos.
So much.
Philippe, we've heard of all the Limassol describing this amazing city, which I fully agree with. It's one of my favorite cities as well. But give us some background of the procurement, the public procurement, and how it works around supporting either the tender, so the people can understand, and how it does it throughout the project, make sure that there are no delays. Just give us some background on the department.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank you for the invitation, you, Christina, and Dimos for being with me on this panel. Thank you to the organizers. It's the second time I'm here also, not consecutive, but it's nice to see the event growing and keeping the interest of people. I was waiting to hear Born to be Wild. You missed that one in there. I also grew up in Limassol.
So you know the feeling.
I know. Although now I have moved in Nicosia. And the Treasury of the Republic is the competent authority for public procurement as appointed by the law regulating public procurement in Cyprus. So our task at the Treasury is to make the laws, make circulars, train people, establish guides. We have the procurement system. We are now operating a central purchasing body to help those that cannot make procurements procure for them. We also do framework agreements and dynamic purchasing systems from which everybody is buying, all contracting authorities in Cyprus. So we are the authority that regulates and monitors procurement activities in Cyprus. Having said that, the Treasury as an organization also has the accounting function of the government and controls all the money being paid and received in the Republic. So public procurement is one part of what Treasury does. It also pays salaries, makes all the payments of the government, pensions, etc.
Thank you, Felipe. So from all this development that has occurred during the past years in Limassol, which is more like a more cosmopolitan than any of the other cities that we have, how do you prioritize at the municipality? What urban projects should be prioritized, and the level of development. Is there a sustainable? Is there any program behind
Yes.
this? Do you take account?
Now, in general, now the city is like an open construction project in the sense that we try to prioritize effectively all the areas that we consider that they will enhance and will develop urban living. So, in terms of prioritization, there are specific divisions in the following areas. Firstly, roads, fixing the road system of the city, which has been problematic for ages. Secondly, building and structuring pedestrian roads in particular areas of Limassol. Thirdly, fixing urban living and trying to achieve cities of 15 minutes, meaning fixing parks and green areas all over Limassol. Overall planning and overall target is to achieve people staying in their neighborhood, so building effectively sustainable development for these particular areas. For example, I was a bit delayed because I came from Kapsalos, an area which used to be very problematic. We are fixing parks there, and the plan is to make it very, very beneficial for the people that they live, to live and enjoy your neighborhood. And then we're doing this on our daily, let's say, obligations, but it's very important for us also to establish bigger picture and bigger projects in the city. We have very big challenges, which are the area of the zoo, where we need to see how we are going to construct it, the area which is the old Gasio, which is a very important area in the coastal coast of the city, and then we effectively need to cooperate with the state on big projects that they need to have to take place in Limassol. I would like to name a very big dream that our city has, which is the area in Ekali. If you are familiar, is the area which currently there are some sort of bases. We do believe that they are unnecessary now in the city, and we can build a metropolitan park over there, overviewing Limassol. So effectively, there are things that they need to happen daily, things that they will need to happen in 6 and 8 months, but there is also the bigger picture that we are working on. Additionally, I would like to say that the city currently faces 2 major challenges. Firstly, is something that the people that they face on a daily basis, traffic. This is a project that from our part, we are trying to make one-way roads in particular areas of the city, making cycling ways effectively of moving around the city. Nevertheless, Limassol needs a lot of state interference on that particular project. And secondly, is something which is related with the topic of this seminar, housing. We already started building social municipal housing in the areas that me and you grow up in St. Nicholas. And the plan is to develop this very, very soon in St. John as well. Plan is not to build ghettos. This is very important. Plan is to build standalone, different buildings all over city, but not make it, I repeat, a ghetto for poor people, but an area where young couples will live together. So to make something, a mix and match that will help and benefit all the people living in that particular building.
Felipe, as Dimos have said now, a lot of plans, as I said in the beginning, there's a vision, there are plans. However, till we find the layer of executing all this, the state has a very important role. Reforms, regulations, procurements. A lot is being said that the procurement process is slowing or it's making like a bottleneck around all these processes. What's your view of this? Is it true to some extent? How does the state help?
I'm glad you asked this question, because if you ask everybody or anyone what they understand by saying processes are delaying projects or processes are complicated, they all think of procurement. But the truth is that it's not procurement, the process, that is key to this whole development of the dream in reality. The first thing is to select the right projects. So this is a decision taken at the decision-making bodies, which in the local authorities is the municipality board, And at this point, it's important to understand and plan projects, because we see many times projects put forward that are not mature enough. Projects put forward that are not well thought out. Just because we feel it's something that needs to happen, let's start to do it. This kind of approach and this kind of putting in the pipeline projects that are not ready and not mature enough built a problem in the procedures throughout. So even if you procure a competition on Friday, you will find problem during the procedure, you will find problem during the evaluation, you will find huge problems during execution, which either stop or delay the project significantly. So it is very, very important to build a procedure, let's say a professional way of introducing projects into the market. On the other hand, we have to acknowledge realities. Cyprus is a small country, so the market, the capabilities of the market are finite. So we have elections, and all municipalities are elected on the same day. They all have vision, they all have dream, and they want to do something for their city, which is great. The key is to understand, can the market do what everybody wants at the same time? So we find a lot of cases where we have projects procured with no interest. Projects procured and the same company can take 2, 3, can delay one, push forward another, so that they try to cope. So we need to understand the realities of the Cyprus capacity, the market capacity in Cyprus. And we also need to put projects ahead when they are mature. And this is key. And in my view is that procurement procedures are complicated. It is not easy to do procurement. But on the other side, it's not rocket science. What you need is common sense and clear thinking on how things can happen. But to do that, you need to understand and be confident on the way the procedure is organized. I mean, for example, I will give you a personal example.
Yes.
How many in the audience wear contact lenses? How long does it take you to wear them in the morning? 2 minutes. I never wore glasses. So, getting older, I had some issues. So I don't want to use glasses. So I wanted to try the contact lenses. I tried and it took me 1 hour and a half to put them on the first time. And 1 hour to take them off. So it's not that I saw the video in the YouTube, I saw the directions, I know the rules, I know what you need to do, but doing it is different. So what we see many times is that procurement in municipalities, in smaller contracting authorities, and even in bigger ones, is considered to be a side work. So it's nobody's job to do procurement. So what they do, John, come on in, we have this project, start. So John will start doing mistakes. The mistakes everybody will do the first time. And by the time he finishes, he has hit a lot of walls, and he's at the level +2. The next project goes to Michael. Again, the same mistakes, the same. So this is an approach that is not helping making plans and transferring them to real life projects. And the second area people need to invest is project management. Project management is nowhere in the public sector. There is no culture of project management. So, in my opinion, it is critical that I'm not talking about projects that are routine projects, but projects that are transformational and you want to put dream into reality. Yes. You need to have people that will treat those projects as their babies. They will wake up, they will sleep, considering that project, fighting for that project, taking it forward. And you need skilled people to do that. So it's two skills that are missing from all contracting authorities, and it is something that we are investing on to change this culture as competent authority on public procurement. So if I have to say something about making projects from dream to reality. The first one is we have to segregate public procurement projects that are public sector oriented and funded and private initiative projects. So it's two different worlds, but the project manager will help both on behalf of the contracting authorities. And the second one is that we need to invest in people that know procedures, people that can make the procedure in such a way to take advantage of the best the market has to offer. And at the end, we find a lot of cases, people, they start without understanding what their need is. They don't know if the market can do what they want. They describe something, we are not sure if the market understood what people want. So these are important aspects that are not legal or framework related or whatever, it is business problems that we need to invest to make the public work more professionally and meet the private sector, which again, from our experience, they are not so professional also. So they also need to invest in professionalism. So it is something that is, it will help the country grow, and it will help us avoid mistakes and problems in the procedures that might cost 20% of the whole budget. Considering it every year can be 200 million. You can save from these good relationships and good cooperations and effective and efficient delivery of projects, which can be done and channeled through to other more productive areas.
If I may a bit second to what my co-speaker said, we took over the municipality in July 2024. Just to give you an understanding, we have around 700 employees. We are one of the biggest, let's say, employer in the city, out of which we didn't have a single architect. Just to give you an understanding that municipalities in the past, especially, and I'm saying this, mark my words 100%, especially because of interference of political parties, we are trying to make municipalities mainly a place where they were working, low-paid workers, people that they were unemployed. Yes. So we said that this had to change drastically. Effectively, the last year we have employed architects, civil engineers, educated people, because municipalities, especially our municipality, is the biggest municipality in Cyprus, having so many different institutions. We brought people that they worked in London to take over responsibility of our civil and cultural policies. We are building 2 more theaters, so we need organized people. And effectively, we're trying to start something new, which can, for me, I humbly believe, can change the way that the city is governed. We want to bring in the know-how and the ideas of foreigners that they either live in Limassol or they either love Limassol. Because I repeat, and I'm a bit passionate about it. I believe that you like it. It's obvious that I love Limassol. And there are so many foreigners that they live or they like Limassol. So what we're trying to make now for them is an NGO, their own effectively forum that will give their ideas, their know-how, their technological background where we lack, we are ages away in Cyprus, in order to bring them in the game as well. Give them a forum of ideas, of innovation, of things that they can be established in the city.
I have to second also.
Okay.
So, yes. And this is a key when you are doing big projects.
Yes.
So we find a problem in big projects. I want to make a project of 200 million. Okay. And I want to dictate the terms that the project will happen. And then I'm looking for an investor to put the money in and do that project, it doesn't make sense because you need to hear people. You need to hear what their ideas are, how their approach is structured, and you have to give them, an outline of where they can move, and let them come with proposals and plans to implement something they believe it can work, because they will take the risk, they will put the investment, and you cannot dictate terms and strict requirements when you expect someone else to put the money. And this is a key area where many projects fail. Because when we try to structure it, we have in our mind what we want, and we don't care about what the investor wants to do. And this is something that is changing now. We see a lot of initiatives going for consultations, discussing with the economic operators, that it is very encouraging to have successful projects in the future.
So I am glad that both of you agree on the bottlenecks or on the gaps in the market, the skills, the planning, and hearing from the investor perspective or the end user, how would they envision their city. That's excellent, but I would like to stop a bit here at Limassol. We all love Limassol, by the way, and think about, when you think about Limassol, because a lot of things are being said about Limassol, is just the front, the Paraliakos, that's the best side, and behind the development's this. So how, from my point of view, is like, how does the municipality ensure that all the areas are up to the same standards? Is that possible? Is the development possible to be sustainable and to the same level as your main vitrinas, you can say?
Yes, the first line. You are absolutely correct that in terms of especially our coastal coast, there was an enormous, and I frankly say anarchy development to some extent. The reason being that a lot of interest came in particular chronological period, which resulted in a way that the city was not organized to face all these developments. So we have a front line which is super developed, but we need to look also on our neighborhoods. And what we are trying to do, I go back on my original marking, which is effectively to give life, give energy, give subject matter and concept to our neighborhoods as well. So effectively, the last 1 year and a half, we have created all over the city more than 15 parks, which are recreational and beneficial for the communities that they live in. I go now, and to give a specific example, which is the area of Egali. There are now currently in that neighborhood 3 parks that we have, 2 basketball parks and 1 open gym that people can enjoy, go there totally free, totally giving back to the society. In addition to this, the areas of the neighborhood, we want to structure activities that take place in those particular areas and make institutions that will bring life in that particular neighborhood. I like always to be precise, and I give the example of Ayos Antonios, an area which is considerably close by here, used to be quite poor area. Now we've managed to get, with a long lease from the central state, the old cinema of Apollon. And our plan there is to make it like a communal young place for people to go. And we believe that also the city is lacking things for the younger kids. What do I mean? The ages from 4 to 5 years old until 12 years old. There we need something in order to make it in another neighborhood and bring again the center of attention to be there. Again, to be precise, in the area of Agia Fila, we fixed the square. Agia Fila, guys, is on the hill of Limassol. We fixed the square, and now in Konstantinou Karamalli, which is the hill of Agia Fila, again, we are building facilities. So the planning of Limassol is to go deep into our neighborhoods and change them. And going back to what I said, in Paris, they are trying to build the 15 minutes cities, which means that within a proximity of 15 minutes, you have pretty much a lot of what you need. And this has super beneficial results for the overall city as well. Traffic-wise, just to give an example, you don't want to move, you stay in your neighborhood, and you also socialize and mingle with the people that live in your neighborhood as well. So yes, I do agree that the attention must not be in one area. But also about our coastal coast, we are trying recently, Limassol, our municipality area starts from the area of Crown Plaza and ends in Old Marina, and then it continues to a small part of Ladies Mile close by. We are making now arguably the best area for amateurs in the area of fishing, in the area of SUP, of sport, but only for amateurs. We are building like a private area where this kind of people will be in a position to use. And next to it is the area which is exactly next to Crown Plaza. And next to it, we have our volleyball courts that they are very, very popular. And we are building also open gyms. So the plan is all our coastal coast to be given to the public for free. We also made something that only the municipality of Aianapa did. We are managing now all the sunbeds area. We brought them from Italy. They're quite stylish, if you ask my personal opinion. And the planning is to bring more and more people and give this back to the society, back to the people.
Felipe, so there's a lot of urban development happening, and I do hold back to what you've said. There's not the relevant planning. What would your suggestion be to future investment, private or public, wanting to further develop either further the urban areas or large projects, as you've said? How could you put all the stakeholders, or could you name the stakeholders that must be involved together to make sure the urban projects develop correctly?
Yes. In the sense of organizing and maturing projects, the stakeholders need to be identified from the beginning, so that we have seen many times projects starting, and then in the middle they need some licenses, they need some things, other services of the government might delay, they need some inspections, they need some clearances. So it's investors, when they come, they check for legal certainty. They check for the viability of the business opportunity. They check if they have, let's say, the advantage, the competitive advantage, that they can make something out of the opportunity. And they check the maturity of the project. So is it starting and I'm getting in and then getting out? Or am I starting and God help me with the procedures and I would have to go to the one service to the other service and these kind of things. So it's important for the public sector, and municipalities is part of the public sector in the sense of the way they spend the money. It is crucial that projects are well thought out and matured before going out to the market. So it's important to understand challenges. And then another important decision is to answer the question, who is in a better position to manage this project and take the risks of this project? So if you identify projects that can generate revenue, then it's probably something that you need to consider if it is more appropriate for a public-private partnership, for another way of approaching it. You don't need, as municipality, you don't need to pay for everything. And you also don't need to monitor everything. Because as important it is to do something and build something, it is of equal importance, if not more important, to keep it running and give the benefits to what you want to do. I mean, you built a park. If in 2 months, 2 years, the park becomes deserted and a place of, let's say, distortion in the area, then you did wrong. You didn't do something good. So it's important to do things, but it's of equal importance to be able to monitor that they give the benefit you wanted. And you need to be agile. Doesn't suit the park here, you can do something else. I remember for years, everybody who wanted to make a square, let's say, restructure a square, there was a theater, open theater. Yeah. I mean, I don't remember any shows in any of the theaters that were built in the squares of villages and whatever it is. Everybody wants to do 5, 6 things that are standard, and they don't look to their neighbor and organize and say, okay, I'm building a theater, you built a court, and you built, let's say, a pedestrian street. So the surrounding gets all the benefits for everybody. So you need cooperations, good maturity of projects, and well thought out projects before putting them out to market. Now, this part is, again, something that goes back to the project management. You need to have project managers that will be assigned the task and they will deliver results. And this is a key area to invest if you want to get results.
I would like to say a particular example that we face now in the city and where we need definitely a cooperation between state, city stakeholders, but also private investors. Limassol has 5 to 6 industrial zones currently. Our industrial zones guys have from fixing cars to tech places to people's making textiles. It's a bit of a mess, let's be honest.
And now paddle courts.
Now paddle courts in an industrial zone. So Limassol, precisely, as a constituency, we need to look, and it's been on the table for years, a techno park, an IT park, and an area where we move from our industrial zones, all these guys that they invest in tech, in innovation, in IP box, you take them in a particular designated zone, you create in addition to this a conference center, a university, and then you make a particular zone in order to take this chaos that exists currently all over our industrial zones. And I say to them, if we don't take drastic measures on this particular area, we will end up having a complete anarchy on these particular zones. And we have designated zones. Everybody has been talking about the area in Pendagomo, which is state property. And we have not managed to mature this project all these years, debates, the last 20 years.
Yes.
And it's there. And it's state land in an area which, imagine if we built a park there, an IT park, how beneficial can be for the city just for traffic, all these people that they will be moving towards that direction. And what we are lacking, because we need to say also our drawbacks, our mistakes, we are lacking efficiency. Procurements take a lot of time, discussions, then we change. You said something fully correct, new elections, new government, new people on the block, and nothing is taking place for many, many years. So we need effectively to make structure on big, especially in Limassol, on big state projects. I was recently in Riyadh. How do they sort out their traffic? They created upper AI train stations, not going underground, no drivers, small, effective, fast. If we're going to make something like that in Limassol, I will have 400 people of the neighborhood coming to my house. I will beat you, I will kill you. This is where we need to be much more fast and much more drastic.
But the technology park in Pendagomo is a very good example of a project that was never matured before going to the market. It went to the market 4 times, 3 times, 4 times, and it was always spontaneous.
Always losing
and this
time
is
for
yes,
that.
and this is key and example how you need to approach projects in order to be able to attract the appropriate investors, because maybe the idea is not right, maybe the place is not right, maybe the way we think about it is not right. So if you go and mature that project, you will understand what can happen, and then you can adapt.
Truly agree with you. So basically, we did a master plan for any development, not just an anarchy of small developments without the right study being done before that.
Imagine this project in Pendagomo, which I speak a lot about it because I believe it can change the city even in terms of global awareness and global interest. It went into the market 4 or 5 times. Nobody is interested. And what I'm saying is, before going into any kind of procurement, why don't you speak with people in advance? Without any kind of commitments. You guys come, what do you think? What can be done? What cannot be done? It goes without saying, with any kind of commitment that it will be given towards that or towards this direction. But here to people, or even travel a bit outside, go to places that they have developed particular idea, and then go out in the public with an idea that is close or as close as possible to be material.
If you go out to the market, you need to have open ears.
Yes, exactly.
It's not just going out to the market.
So you gave the example of Riyadh before a while regarding the transportation, but could you just give some example of more sustainable living or green cities, or best examples from other municipalities, Dimos, so we can have our final closing and give your suggestions?
For me, a city that I consider is a landmark in the area how it is urbanly structured is Barcelona. Yes. Very. Why? If you go to Barcelona, and Barcelona reminds me a bit of Limassol. Reminds me in terms of its geography. Don't get me wrong.
Απόλλωνας, ΑΕΛ.
Only Ael.
Barcelona, ΑΕΛ.
But Barcelona is an area where they have a lot of small squares, and this is what we need to build here as well. We are making now Platea Iron in the city center a fantastic square. All the squares of them are linked, so when you enter the city, you can walk into any kind of direction very, very easily. They have substantially and in very good locations parking, so you can park surrounding the city and you enter the city mainly as a pedestrian. They have the coastal coast as well, which links with the city. So if you take La Ramblas, for example, you can walk towards the beach without any problem. This is a model that we need to look at, if you ask my opinion. And I don't know, you think I'm over passionate about Limassol, but if you see Limassol from the sea, Limassol, guys, is an amphitheater. It starts from the sea and it goes up to the hills. So I do believe that as a geographic location, we are better.
I agree with you. Limassol is one of the best cities. We've managed to agree on all that. All of us on that. Felipe, anything that we can look and learn from more successful, more efficient procurement, public collaboration systems that need to be put together in order to make our projects more effective?
Sure. In Cyprus, what we follow as a legal environment is the European law on public procurement. So we participate in the Commission meetings, and now we are chairing the working party. I'm chairing the working party for public procurement with the experts from all the countries. It's a mistaken perception that the others have solved the problems. They also have problems, the same as us, maybe more serious than us, because they don't have the let's say the benefit of the small country, so that they know some people, they can understand, they can cooperate, they can explain to each other what's the issue. In other countries, they have very many specialists in every special sector. So when they want to do something, they get caught into the discussions and letters.
Yes.
And so it's not something that it's solved everywhere else and we have a problem in Cyprus. Again, the key problem everywhere is the maturity of projects, the good planning, and the professionalization in handling the procedures and the projects. So as Treasury, we have tried to invest in people with professional procurers. We have took a course now. We have trained the first 45 professionals, and now we will deliver the course again to others, and municipalities will take turn to have people designated for procurement so that they are trained. And we also invest in tools and technology. So we have recently launched our new e-procurement system, which will monitor the procedure from the planning stage to the end completion of the project. So we will have data and monitoring of the procedures and the process moving on. And also it will give a picture on all procurements, both for the managers to take into consideration how their organization is doing, but also for the government to see how it is performing. And we also developed a tool that is using AI technologies to answer questions. So it's a chatbot that can help guide people when they have procurement questions or they want to ask something. And another tool that takes procurers by the hand and step by step, it's a wizard type tool that asks them questions, and in the background, they build their business case and it builds their procurement documents and gives them ready to them at the end.
Is it available now
Yes,
on your e-procurement platform?
Yeah, it is available now on our website.
That's very helpful, yeah.
Which now all contracting authorities can use it. Even if you don't know the law, you can answer some questions and the system will prepare for you the documents. But as I said before, it's not the documents, it's the answers. Because if you don't know your business case and you are not mature enough and well thought out in the planning of the project, you will not give the correct answers and you will not get the correct terms of reference when you go out to the market.
And I'm sure because you're talking from experience and due to technology and AI, do you have a track on the projects that do not manage to be complete? Do you have like a percentage?
Yes, we also have a website where we put projects that were terminated so that people are aware and check why projects were terminated, and which is not bad because on the one hand, it creates frustration and creates complication in the procedure, but on the other hand, it is a huge and very important lesson for everybody because the market is trained by the way you behave. Exactly. So if you are professional and you behave professionally, you will attract professional bidders. If you behave in whatever manner you find easy at the time, you will get opportunity bidders on the other side.
Short term, yeah.
So if you go along and you don't request and you don't expect and you don't push to be delivered what you are promised, the next time this message will go to the bidders and they will come, okay, they want 10, they will accept 7, I will give them 6. So this creates a culture that needs to be stopped. And this is a key area because it's one thing to be transparent and fair in the competition, but you need to keep that during the execution of the contracts to be fair to those that lost and to be also professional against your bidders and your economic operators.
For me, Felipe, this is very important, and I think it will solve a lot of the bottlenecks or projects not being efficiently or at all completed. And a message, Dimo, from beautiful Limassol. Final message from you.
The message is that the future is ahead of us. We have super challenges. We are. I say this, and I was saying this when I was campaigning. We are very privileged to live in this city. We are gifted to be here, but the challenges are ahead of us, and they are a lot. And the challenge is to build a city which will be sustainable, a city which will be extravert for people to come, to establish themselves, to live here, but also to what you said, a city that will be spread, the development, the benefits of this will be spread in the society, in the people, in those that they love and respect this city. So we don't want only our coastal coast, we want a city that will be developed sustainably in all its areas.
Thank you so much. Thank you all for being here. It was
much.
an excellent session. Really enjoyed it.
Really
Thank you,
enjoyed it.
Dimos. Thank you, Philip. Have a lovely day.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.